I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
All right, we're back. We're live. It's the last party of the weekend. I'm your host, Chris Burnett, 10 drink minimum. This is the second try at this. Holly Ann is not here, so in her place we have Gemma Knight.
Hello.
Yeah, and then wrestling referee legend Kyle Neese.
Legend.
Yeah. You're.
Sure.
I mean, you know, I don't know.
Oh, I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Am I? Oh, and there we go. Now I
Yeah.
can hear myself. Could you not hear me at all before? Then nobody heard what
That's
I said.
fine. It's
That's
fine.
all right. Nobody needs to hear me. That's
Nobody.
fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I'm gonna share. I'm gonna
You're
share.
just here to warm the chair.
Whatever. I'm legendary in my own mind.
You have been a referee for quite some time, though. How long?
9 years, dude.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah. This October will be 9 since my very first show.
Yeah.
And he can almost count to 5 correctly.
Oh.
It was counting to 10 that I messed up
Okay,
on, not counting to 5.
How did you
Damn.
mess up counting to 10? Like that out of the ring count out or what?
All right, I guess we're starting with the story. So yeah, so like I was doing a 10 count on the outside, and what did I do? I got to 5, and I did this. I held up 6 fingers for 5, and so I was like, yeah, I got ahead of myself in my brain, and so I was like 5, throwing up 6, and I was like, oh shit. All right,
Oops.
well then 6. Now I'm back on count.
Did anybody give you shit for it afterwards?
My wife all the time.
Oh, it's my
But I mean,
favorite.
like-
okay, hold on. Did she see it?
Yeah,
Oh.
she was there that time.
All right.
Yeah, so that was
I think I also heckled him really, really hard
Oh,
when
man.
it happened.
yeah, I mean,
Way
yeah.
to count,
I was like, what the
Kyle.
fuck, dude?
Yeah, that's
You're a teacher.
whatever. I'm not a math teacher though.
No, you are not,
Wow.
sir.
I'm pretty good at math. But, yeah.
My mom said just drop by to say hi to everyone. Have a great
Aw,
show.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fucking A, Mom. I like that earlier. Jim was like, Kyle said not to cuss on the show. I was like, what?
No, I didn't say not to cuss. I mean,
You
I
did. You said
I
don't swear.
I don't. But then I was like joking because I said I'm sure it's probably fine. Like
Yeah.
I've met Chris before. I'm pretty sure he swears on the show.
Yeah.
I was not allowed
So-
to swear when
Yeah.
I worked in radio, so
Yeah.
this is going to be fun.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
when other times than doing podcasts where like it's like, can we swear? Are you allowed to? Like depends on your target audience.
Yeah.
If you're doing a show called 10
And-
Drink Minimum,
yeah.
I think you're gonna swear probably.
And my target audience is literally no one. So
We're
good.
good.
We're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
nobody fucking cares.
Billy Spiro says hello from 35,000 feet above the air.
What?
He must be watching us on an airplane.
Or he's
Where
in
are you going,
space.
Billy?
Or I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe he's in space.
I hope you're going somewhere cool and that
Yeah.
you're wearing a mask. on the
Don't say Florida.
Hey, well, they have Disney still,
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
but the rest of it's pretty much a dump.
Yeah. Right.
plane.
Yeah. I got a friend who lives there who fucking hates it. He tells me all the time, he's like, I can't leave. So I just want to fucking leave, but like he's too broke to actually leave the state, and so he's just stuck there.
They're all. We got you. You ain't leaving.
Ooh, on your way to Hawaii.
Oh,
Nice.
dang,
We'll
dang,
be there
Nice.
dang, rich
in-
people.
like 20 some odd days.
Oh man,
Yeah. you
20,
live in-
25.
must be
25
nice. Must be nice.
Nice.
He said on my way. Yeah, on my Hawaii. On my way to Hawaii.
On my
It's
Hawaii.
cool. We'll put this one up for you. Yeah, look at our fans. They say, yeah, on my Hawaii.
Nice.
You own Hawaii? What? That is so cool.
Now he's really rich. Yeah.
He's really fancy.
You think that anybody would ever get that? I mean, there's people that wealthy.
Yeah.
They'd be like, well, we bought one of the islands of Hawaii because we didn't have nothing else to spend the money on.
We
Well,
named it after our great grandpa.
I don't know.
Didn't Nicolas Cage buy an island
I-
like back in the 90s?
I'm sure with
Like,
dinosaur bones
because
on
he
it.
went crazy. He had so much money and he was buying all sorts of wacky shit.
I'm pretty
Like,
sure he thinks he still has lots of money.
yeah,
He might. That new movie actually looks pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the one about him.
Like he's
Yeah,
playing
he's
himself.
playing
Yeah,
himself.
looks good. I don't know the name of it.
I feel like he's done that a couple times. Is this like this isn't the first time he's played himself, is it?
I
You
don't
know what? He's
Yeah.
just cocky enough to. He probably has.
They like every movie. They're like, "Well, here's your character." He's like, "I play myself."
Yeah, like Ghost Rider, he was just really himself. He's just like, I'm just gonna light myself on fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did it all practical.
I'm myself, but my head's on fire. Yeah.
I'm
I
Nick
know.
Cage, bitch.
Nick Cage, bitch. That would be amazing if he said that. Right? So Jimmy you used to work
Yes,
in radio.
I did.
Yeah.
A hot minute ago.
And you never cussed into a mic?
I did once on accident, but
Mm.
it did not get caught, so that was good. But no, yeah, we couldn't curse on
They didn't-
legitimate.
They didn't have like a delay in the dump.
They did. That's why I
Oh.
did. Yeah, no,
Ah.
that we were always on like an 8 to 12 second.
I actually was on that radio station you were talking about the day before Thanksgiving last year.
On 770
Yep,
KKOV.
yep. I wasn't gonna say the name of it, but yeah.
I'm so sorry. That is not where we used to work.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
Do
care.
you have a delay?
It doesn't matter to me. But I was so worried I was gonna say like fuck or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why were you on that station?
My friend Buck from the Buck and
Yep.
Deck show
Yep.
fills in for people,
Yes.
and he was filling in for someone, and he's like, "Come on and do 2 hours with me." And I went and did it, and
yeah,
it was
he used to come in.
yeah.
He's a very nice guy, that Buck.
yeah,
Yeah.
I get along with him, and but I didn't cuss. I was like, "Yay!"
It helped at the same time that I was doing that. I was also a preschool teacher.
Oh,
So my filter was fairly strong at
Mhm.
at that time. Not
Mhm.
so much anymore.
oh, really?
It's pretty much gone.
I feel like you'd cuss
Yeah.
more. You're like, "You little motherfuckers!
In my head, all the time.
Every one of y'all's gonna pay today." You want to go outside for recess? Nope. No, you're like, recess is Jim's time.
Recess. We didn't do a recess.
Mm.
That's a elementary school thing. So we
Oh.
were just allowed to, I worked at a really cool preschool where we were just in and out of the building all the time.
Oh,
Sometimes we were outside,
alright.
sometimes we were
You should
inside.
name drop the school because it's amazing.
It was okay. Sweetheart Daycare.
There you go.
No longer
Wow.
there, but a
Huh.
lot of people know about it.
But a lot of people
was
know
a
about
thing.
it.
Why is it no longer there?
Joan, who owned it, sold it a couple years ago, and it is now being.
Now it's a bar.
That would be dope. It's not.
Yeah.
It is going to be a even smaller kiddo school called Little Flowers.
Mm.
But it was great because it's right across the street from Jubilation.
Oh,
So we would all just go
after
after
work.
work and get ready for the next day.
Ah, get lubricated.
Yes.
Fancy.
With 10 drinks minimum.
So you were telling me a story earlier about
Yeah.
KKOB, where you were saying you were on the air, and you had like a crazy schedule.
I did morning and
Oh.
afternoon drive traffic. So 4:30 to 9 every morning,
Mhm.
back at 2:30 until 7, which is not a schedule I recommend to anyone who wants to
So do you,
remain healthy.
Go and take like a nap.
A lot of the time there would be naps or just like zoning out on the couch.
Yeah,
So it was just not a healthy schedule by any means.
yeah, but you got to watch midday TV, right?
I watched a lot of Price is Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Was this in the times of Barker?
oh
or-
yeah, Barker was still there. Yeah. this
Oh
was
man.
10 years ago at this point.
Wow.
So
Yeah, it's been a while.
I remember when we first got cable back, and we had the soap opera channel, and I would watch old 90210 shows episodes. That
Really?
was my time. Yep.
Oh.
But no, it was not a very conducive schedule to having a healthy lifestyle, and I wanted to go back to school to finish out some school stuff, and I went to the program director and was like, all right, afternoons, can I cut that, still do the morning drive, because mornings when I had the most shows. And he just looked at me, he was like, you don't need to go back to school. You have a long career in just being a ditzy traffic girl for our sports station.
Wow.
And my first
Yeah.
reaction was probably a little more visceral than I allowed, so I was proud of myself. But yeah, no, that didn't fly. I'm not just going to be the token quote unquote ditz on some man show. So
That's a man show.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know sports enough. I know
Yeah.
local sports. I went to every basketball game and all those things, but they didn't want, that wasn't anything they wanted out of a
Right,
female on the sports station. So
What is with the? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
how
wanna
dare
start-
you know sports?
I don't know if I wanted to start a war. It seems like, I mean, you kind of do, but it seems like every time I see like that sports animal or whatever, those people, and I've met them,
Mhm.
and Maybe I should just not say anything.
I will say this: the people on air that I worked with
Yeah.
were not the issue. That was
Oh.
not, that did not come from the
Yeah.
actual DJs by any means.
Oh.
It came from higher above. So
It seems like a very bro-y culture.
it's very much so that
Yeah.
that was not the goal to be in radio, to just be a traffic. Like I get that that's like a stepping off point, and
Yeah,
a lot of
you
people
don't want to
start
be
that way.
the ditzy weather girl. What did they mean by that? Like, what would you do that was ditzy? Would they constantly make fun of you, or
It would be more so like Super Bowl, good example.
all right?
And they prepared, we would take bets on who's going to win and all these
Oh.
things. And my role was to pick the team based on color instead of
But they
that was prepared in advance.
wow. And then you had to like act it out like
Mhm.
I only pick them because of color. I like their
I
colors.
liked the Vikings because they're purple, and
and
yeah.
and so they made it seem like that's how you chose it.
I like that. I just like I know that obviously like neither of us are giant football fans, but I like that you thought of purple and you went to the Vikings to figure like you.
well, yeah,
processed-
because
she
I
knows-
actually do know.
yeah, but you know enough about
Thanks.
sports to be like, yeah, like you like even just now throwing out that example, like you picked your favorite color
Mhm.
and then like processed out which team you were really
Or the
thinking
Lakers,
of, or the
That's
Lakers,
purple.
yeah, yeah, no, but that's
So that that was always the thing. It was just like
Yeah.
kind of trying to give me a little bit of a push towards just be the cute girl on the station that needs the manly men to explain things to.
Wow.
And I just
Yeah.
it wasn't cool.
and I
And
feel
then
like
to
it's,
tell a woman that she doesn't need to go to school
yeah,
when I was going to school to better myself for
yeah.
that business
yeah,
doesn't
That's-
make sense to me.
no.
So that was a big fat fuck no. And
Did you work at Mad Men or what? they're just
Right?
smoking a cigarette? Oh, hey, brides don't need to go to school.
Yeah.
Like,
You can just answer the phones in your pretty dress and your high heels that you need to wear all
and
fucking
they
day.
just slap you on the ass, like ridiculous.
It was
tits.
it was
Yeah.
very much not the culture that I needed
Yeah.
to be a part of.
And it still does. It still seems like it's the same.
I don't have that many connections there anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of the friends that I had there left, but it wouldn't surprise me if
Oh.
it's the same.
I don't know.
Yep.
And it
It's
may not.
unfortunate.
It may be completely better. I don't have any idea. I just see what I see from their media,
Hmm.
and I go, that's just all.
It's a very mansplaining culture. It's
Yeah.
a very whitewashed culture,
Yeah.
if you want to go there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was probably not only the token girl, but the token brown girl
Oh,
there.
wow.
So there's a lot of things.
They're all,
Yeah.
Gemma, can you please show up to the meeting? And you're like, what do I need to do? Just be there.
Just be there
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
fill the quota.
yeah.
People would
Yeah.
get so upset because my last name isn't Hispanic, but
Oh,
I am. And so when I would say street names correctly, like Candelaria,
Mm.
and then people would call in and ask why I was trying to like Hispanic it up. It was
wow.
really strange.
Well,
It was a strange time in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that, like, there's some of that, but then, like, every once in a while on the radio, they'll really go way too far. Like one day I was driving to work and I was listening to one of the local commercials, and they're all, "We have enchiladas," and I was like,
Like overemphasizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I was like, enchiladas, like you don't have to say enchiladas, you know.
Enchiladas
And I'm
y
like,
tacos. And yeah, they did the whole like norteña voice. And
Yeah.
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 even worse. And I don't. It's really interesting to me how like no one, like most people, just kind of like go, "Oh, well, that doesn't count." Is like there was commercials for like was it O'Neill's, and it's like some woman who's not Irish,
Ah,
absolutely doing an Irish accent. She's all,
Mm.
"Come to the Blarney Stone," and I'm like, do you realize this is fucking like,
racist and not okay.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
okay. And they're like, like just because they're white people, it's like they're also another. They have their own culture as well. And you are like doing their accent, like
Mhm.
it's like
Just butchering it.
yeah.
I did a lot of the commercial reads for.
Oh, I think it was you. No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
I don't do accents very well. Kyle can
Oh,
attest to this.
man.
We will not dive into that today
Yeah.
because it is offensive, and
Never
I apologize.
Gemma is amazing at
I
accents.
try really hard, but they're not great.
Well, you should have done the one for O'Neill's
There you go.
because it was fucking some lady who could not do an Irish accent well.
Yeah, it
That-
might have been me because I don't do accents well.
No.
Oh,
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's just a strange time. But
Yeah.
it led to this, Chris.
Yeah.
So you know,
Yeah.
all things in life.
It led to this day
It
right
did.
here.
This moment right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then Kyle, like neither one of you guys were really supposed to be on except like last minute yesterday, Gemma, and
yeah.
then today Kyle
Yeah.
because Smiley no showed.
Literally, you called me like an hour ago,
Yeah.
babe, and we're
Yeah.
like,
So
get
Kyle-
down here.
Kyle's, a referee, for wrestling. So of course, anytime I show up to a party and Kyle's there, we go and sit on the side and talk about wrestling.
Yeah.
And,
For
then,
hours.
then people will walk
Not-
up and they'll
not
come back.
hours.
Not hours. People will walk up and they go, "Are you still talking about wrestling?" I'm like, "Why can't we enjoy it? We're not over. Like we're not walking up to you guys."
Yeah. Or they'll be like, dude, come on, you got to hear about you got to hear about
yeah.
this.
I
What-
feel
what-
like I can say this on behalf of our friends. We
Yeah.
appreciate that you don't push it on the rest
Right,
of us.
right.
Yeah, that's really what any
Yeah.
friend should be like. Obviously, like, would I like more people to be watching wrestling? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would I invite someone to say, hey, check this out? Absolutely. But I'm not going to be like, you have to do this. It's
Well,
not Christianity or
And
something.
it's going to be, and if you're going to show them something, you're going to be like, "Look at this. He throws him off the top of the cell
yeah.
and he
Oh.
doesn't die."
God, Mick Foley.
Right.
So amazing.
Right.
That was so cool meeting him.
It was pretty cool. And then like so there was some stuff that happened like afterwards. So you showed up and I got to take him up on stage. I got to do a lot more than I thought I was going to get to do.
Yeah.
But I got to go up and get him and take him to the stage, introduce him, and then I ended up helping out, like literally setting up with all the stuff afterwards. So you could tell he was like very congenial,
Yeah.
but he was ready not to be there.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
much.
dude.
Yeah.
That drunk guy in the very beginning
Oh, man.
wrecked it. Like
Yeah.
he threw off the vibe
Yeah.
for the whole time. Like there's this guy who's super drunk, and like Mick Foley you'd already introduced him.
Yeah.
He was getting started on his spiel, and like he's talking about how like he only drops one F-bomb in the show, and he's
Right.
gonna save it and like build up towards it. And this like drunk guy walks in, and there's like a front row seat.
Yeah.
Like one front row seat, and he's like, "Oh, Mick, I love you," and like, blah. And then like Mick was like, "All right, dude, like,
Cool.
you cool, but like, I'm doing the show, like, I need you to sit down, like,
Yeah.
yeah." And the guy keeps talking, and just,
Yeah.
and finally Mick was like, "All right, dude, you gotta fucking leave." Like, threw his F-bomb out way early, and from that moment forward, you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, like he's
Yeah.
unhappy right now
Yep,
because
yep.
this dude just ruined it." And then like the dude's friend was like was like, "Well, that's my cousin. I'm sorry for him," and like still interrupting part
Yeah.
of the show. And it's like, dude, just grab your friend and leave.
Don't
Because he
say
kicked
anything
you
else.
out. Just say,
Yeah.
"I'm sorry," walk away,
Yeah.
and there goes your $150 because
Yeah.
they both had VIP,
Yeah, they did.
and they spent a lot of money and got to see
Yeah.
about 5 minutes of it because they got too fucking hammered.
Yeah, and I'm like, why are you hammered for Mick Foley? and
Yeah.
also, I was hammered for Mick Foley.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if you could tell. I was a little hammered.
Yeah.
I'd started
But
Out
drinking.
of nerves of
but
meeting
it's-
Mick Foley?
Oh no.
Just out of
No.
Christmas.
Yeah, it was like 4:00 and
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I said, you know what? We're gonna go do this thing tonight. And Billy and I went over to happy hour, and I probably had about 4 or 5 drinks before, but like I don't get nervous about that stuff anymore.
Oh, really?
At all, huh?
Hmm.
Not since Lita.
Yeah.
I get
Ugh.
I turtle. Like,
Yeah?
it's like I get really excited and my shoulders
Yeah.
go up and
The public speaking part doesn't bother me at
oh
all.
no, the public
Nope.
the public
Yeah.
speaking part
Mhm.
doesn't bother me.
See,
I meant like meeting somebody.
Nah.
So meeting people, I get like the tiny bit nervous,
Yeah.
but then like once I see them, I'm like, yeah, they're a human like me.
Yeah.
Like this is cool. Let's figure this out.
He probably hasn't showered today because he's been in the car all day. So yeah.
Well, I think, but he
Yeah.
flew in that day, didn't he? Flying
No,
in because
no.
he was flying back home for the 4-day stretch.
No, he was driving.
Oh, was he really?
Yes, he was.
What?
And that's why he was
Because
ready
that was
to go.
that was Easter, it was right before
Yeah.
Easter weekend, the Thursday
So
before
he-
Easter weekend.
He had driven down from Denver, and he drove from Denver to Amarillo to go see Terry Funk,
Yeah,
which
Terry
made
Funk.
which made national news.
Yep.
Then he drove here.
Yeah.
And then from here, he was going to go stay the night in a hotel, and then he was going to just deadhead to Florida.
Wow.
And I'm like, good God, dude. I mean,
That's a
he was going to have
long
to.
haul.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
that's I'm sure he's so used to that. They're like, drive for a while. If you get tired, pull over, take an hour or two nap,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
get back to it. And he drives in his own minivan,
yeah.
like so he
Yeah.
has the space to like
Oh, I saw the minivan.
spread out. Oh, that's cool. I get to see the minivan. That's pretty cool.
Because we were like, do you need directions? So nope. He was like ready to go. He was
Yeah.
the bouncers were trying to like talk to him afterwards. He's like sitting there like, he's like, yeah. Anyway, who has my check?
Yeah.
That's what he said, literally what he said. And they're like, oh, we'll get the money. And I had to go ask Barney. I was like, hey, he's ready to get paid, I think.
Mm.
And he got the check, and then he was like, "All right, guys, I'm out."
Yeah.
And we follow him out to the minivan, and we're like, "Do you need direct?" Nope. And he just gets in. He's like,
Yeah.
gone.
He drives himself in the
Uh-huh.
minivan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just. I mean, how old is Mick? 55,
Yeah.
60, maybe, like somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
You know,
I think,
like,
you know,
yeah.
actually, I think he's up in his 60s. I don't know. God,
Well,
I hope he is. 'Cause
You look that up real quick, but like, yeah, he just jumps in his car and he just takes himself. He does his tour
Does
like by
the
himself.
minivan have him dressed as like Conan the Barbarian on top of a unicorn
No.
painted across the side of the
No,
van?
it was just a
No.
white van.
Darn
No,
it.
I mean that would
That's what I was thinking.
It would be
56.
56. See, I was pretty close. I
Yeah.
said 55. So like,
Yeah.
no, if he's gonna have anything painted on the side of his van, it should be the three faces of Foley.
That'd be correct.
But like, you know,
yeah.
and you don't entirely know what that is, babe. But that's okay. You should watch. Actually,
Santa Claus.
you kn- he does. He is sent. You should watch. What was that? Was it the '98 Rumble?
Yeah, where he
'Cause-
went in as all three.
As
I thought you don't push wrestling on
well, but you like the Royal Rumbles.
people. I
and-
like the Royal
Yeah.
Rumbles, or I sit on the couch and play on my phone while you watch the Royal
but-
Rumbles.
Hey, they're the most
No,
fun.
You've looked up and you
Except
get
this year
you
was
like
trash.
you like the women's Rumbles.
Yeah.
I
like-
like women.
Well, exactly. So like, there's
Well,
a,
now.
there's a lot of hot women in wrestling. Like,
Man, I like women.
I'm
There you go.
British.
yeah, was that a British accent?
That was that was
Oh,
her
man.
British
Yeah, see,
accent.
well,
no, but you sort of tried to do one
Let's
too.
see.
I kind of
I can't believe you've never seen that
Oh my
those
God.
sketches from Saturday Night Live. That's crazy. Because like that every time I see him, I'm like, "Hi, I'm Gemma.
Is that why you say hi to me that way every time I see you? Now that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Hi, I'm Gemma."
I don't know which SNL skit that is.
There's
Well-
like 4 or 5 of them. One of them,
All right.
one of them, The Rock is in.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
The Rock is funny.
we can watch that one afterwards. It's
All
pretty
right,
good.
yeah, we'll have to check that out. That way,
'Cause- yeah,
we're in on the joke then.
yeah. Finally,
What were we talking about?
We're talking about
Wrestling.
the
How
three,
you-
the
how
three
you
faces
love,
of
How
Foley.
you love the Royal Rumble?
I love Royal Rumbles. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You love pro wrestling in general.
Right.
It's just your favorite thing.
Oh.
Do you ever worry about Kyle when he's in the ring?
Kyle, when he's reffing, no. When Kyle thinks he's a wrestler, yes.
Oh, when does he think he's a wrestler?
When he goes to practices.
Do you practice?
And practices with people who shouldn't be allowing you to do it. And then they fall on you and you get surgery.
Yeah,
Those times I'm not
What
super
happened?
happy.
But-
What was the injury?
I broke my ankle. Have you not heard this story
No,
at
I have
all?
not.
Yeah,
Who-
so like
who fell on it?
6 years ago, last weekend.
Yeah, a week ago.
It was on May 31st. My good friend Turbo Tony.
I know Turbo Tony.
Yeah, he we were doing something, so we're at training, and the other guys were doing something else, and he was like, "Well, let's just do this spot real quick," and kind of like went through it, and it was fine. And then I just misheard what he said the second time we went through it,
Oh.
and he jumped up and did a drop kick, which whatever, and then he landed on my ankle basically,
Oof.
and he snapped the bone on the inside. I'll show you the X-rays, man. It's
The
pretty
X-rays are
gnarly.
dope.
It's pretty
how
gnarly.
how hard is it to land on that mat whenever you're doing a drop kick or something?
Oh, dude, it's like that much. Can you see that? It's
Yeah.
like that much foam. It's barely
Yeah.
an inch and a half of foam, and it's wood and steel. Like it hurts.
Yeah,
It's not. It's everyone thinks it's like a trampoline.
no.
Totally not like a trampoline in the slightest. There is some
It'd be
bounce
really
to it.
fun if they did wrestling
Right.
on a trampoline.
But that's actually kind of like a big no-no.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
but that's
okay.
fine. Yeah,
I thought that would be hilarious.
You should do
Yeah.
it. Just bring it
Like,
out. Trampoline
Watch
wrestling.
John Cena just like bounce out. It would be really fucking
Yeah.
funny.
No.
um,
Do you remember when they did that basketball and they had like the trampolines underneath the
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
and like there was
like
a
air ball.
yeah.
yeah.
and then there was like I was watching the it was kind of like not the draft, but it was like them trying to like see what players they want, and this dude went up and dunked it, and he landed like outside of trying to shattered his leg.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
Yeah,
ugh,
you need-
slam ball.
You need way. Oh yeah, it's slam
Yeah.
ball. That's what it was.
Yep.
You need
Yeah.
like way bigger trampolines all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That was an interesting like idea. It was like, what if we had NBA Jam
In real life.
In real life.
Yeah,
someone should light the ball on fire,
right.
and Nick Cage should be the host.
As Nick Cage.
As
as-
the cage with his burning head.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
Mm.
man.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. But
Sad.
so it's not a trampoline.
It's not a trampoline
So-
at all. It is
so
hard.
Why were you training? Because like, is there like going to be a thing where are you just learning to take bumps because you're a ref and you,
Yeah,
sometimes
if
take bumps?
you're going to be in the ring, you have
Yeah.
to be trained. Like there's a big big to do about the seriousness of it. Even though a lot of people laugh at wrestling and what it is, like it's very, the people that are in wrestling take it incredibly serious,
As they should.
And yeah, you've got to respect the ring and respect it, and so you've got to learn it. So yeah, I mean, I've taken some bumps, I've taken some body slams, like nothing major.
Do you clean your feet before you get in the ring?
Every time. I still, even as a ref, I still do it
Yeah.
every time I step in that ring.
Like the bottom of your shoes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a traditional thing. It's like a big deal, and like some people don't. That's
Yeah.
what they do.
No, I do, and make sure. So now I have a lot more shows. Like this year, I was just actually realizing, I was talking to some friends earlier. June is the first month I don't have a show this whole year.
Oh wow!
I've had 6 or 7 shows already this year, which is normally like, you know, I'm a New Mexico guy. There's nobody else doing wrestling anywhere else in the state. You know, so I used to do 5 or 6 shows a year.
Right.
Every once in a while, I'd get out of go to Colorado or something. Like I was on a show up at a Lucha Libre and Laughs. If you know those guys, they do like comedy and wrestling. So there's like a match and then a comedian and then a match and then a comedian.
It's kind of like Lucha Vavoom, where there was like bands.
Yeah, Lucha Vavoom out in California did the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so, like I don't get out of state a whole lot. But now, like this last year, I had somebody out, Rick out at SCP in Lubbock, reach out to me and say, "Hey, I'm looking for a good ref. I've heard your name."
Yeah.
And so now I'm traveling a little bit more. I got hooked up with the midget warrior wrestling, which is fantastic. So I did.
They said Kyle can't count to 3.
Well, that Chris, wow, man, that's Mr. Happy. I like him. He just sent me a Facebook friend request because I guess we weren't Facebook friends, which is weird because I've known Chris. So Chris, you know, I actually taught his son too because you know I teach middle school
to count to 3.
So no, I didn't teach his son to count to 3, but I taught his son, which is cool. And now he and I, you know, hit the road to Lubbock every other month, which is really fun.
That's
But
cool.
he did just confirm that you can't count.
Yeah,
that is not true. Happy, you're killing me, man. But that's all right.
Well, I think I think maybe, you know, that's the whole idea is like, that was 3, ref. Come on.
Well, and you know what? Everyone has a different perspective. When you're in the ring,
it's harder.
You can I can see the tiniest bit of movement. And if the shoulder is up, the shoulder is up, and it's not 3. Even if my hand is a quarter of an inch from hitting the ground, and even if I do hit the mat, but that shoulder is up before, because you know momentum is hard to stop sometimes. Like when you're in that zone, like you're moving. And if someone kicks up, then they're up, and you can't count to 3.
Also, it's a work, and you know who's going to win, right?
That's
no.
Oh, I'm so glad you
What are
went
you
there, Chris,
talking
because I was
about?
about to be like, but you know how many times you're going to count, and how many times they're going to kick out, and how many times.
I don't want to know that much.
But they know.
But also you have to be prepared because like things happen where if someone is supposed to win.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Oh, you don't know?
Happy.
Yeah, you don't know who's gonna win.
Sometimes they tell me, sometimes they don't.
Oh,
right. Like I try, but like I definitely don't know like how many times there's gonna be 7 pins in this match, and 2 of them we're gonna kick out here and kick out that. No, that's ridiculous.
Oh, really? I didn't know. Wow,
no,
I had no idea. I learned that today.
And I tell everyone that I'm in the ring with was like, if it's not the end, kick out. Yeah. If you don't kick out, then I'll call 3, and that's the end of the match, whether you meant to or not.
Has that happened?
Yeah. And that's you know my job is to be in there, and I kind of love it because I have to take it as serious as possible.
Yeah. In
order to relay that to everyone else.
Okay.
So
and I mean they should be a professional and they should
know what they're doing. But
trying to kick out.
But people get hurt too. Sometimes you know look at I don't know if we've talked about this, but Jeff Hardy got knocked out during his match at Double or Nothing.
Yep.
Right, and then was kind of off the rest of the match. Like you have to watch out for the people in the ring, and if something goes wrong and somebody takes a bad bump and then they don't kick out because they're legitimately knocked out, then you can't stop and be like, oh wait, no, what? No, that's.
Do you still? So now that everyone knows, like the signal, like that someone's hurt.
Yeah.
Do you guys still do that, or do you do something different?
No, that's the same thing. Like that's just the way that I was trained and learned. If there's anything else newer than that, nobody else has told me that. So if someone's hurt, we go with that. But I haven't had to deal with a real serious injury in the ring.
Interesting.
So
I was watching The Secrets of Pro Wrestling.
Whoa! I'm just kidding. Like one of those like magic.
Oh,
remember those magic shows?
That's exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Did you never see that? And it was like
maybe like in late 90s, 98,
yeah. But like probably, they were like that
was more than like 23 years ago.
Right.
I can't remember yesterday.
Right. Well, too many concussions.
Yeah.
No, but it would crack me up because like they were like, Yeah, the announcer, they relay to the announcer if they need to make changes, and the announcer will have like a pin or something, and then like they relay that to the referee, and the referee relays it to the wrestlers. Is that like something that really happens? It does, yeah.
He's making a very sneaky, should I answer this face?
I mean, that's a pretty old
Yeah.
school method
Right.
that, writing things down. But I
Mhm.
mean, like, a lot of there's a lot of like headpieces now.
Yeah,
So, like,
I knew that, yeah,
you
but I
know.
didn't know if you guys were that fancy, you know.
It's in SCP out in Lubbock. They have
Oh,
headsets. And
okay.
I've used them off and on at different places.
Yeah.
And it's if something changed. But I mean, I think that's a big like TV thing where like
Yeah.
you've got to know when a commercial break is coming up.
Yep.
You've got to know when that kind
Yep.
of stuff is going up, because you're not going to set up and do a big table spot.
Right.
And
Well,
they're like, we're going to commercial. So
AEW would.
well,
Because
they
they're
might.
in picture and picture.
They are in picture in
Do
picture.
you-
That's when I
That's-
drink.
That's her drinking game. She
I
likes to
fucking
drink
hate it.
picture in picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would rather see the whole match
Yep.
and then end and go to break
Yep,
and
yep.
then come back.
I was really glad that they finally like ended a match during the picture in picture. And
Did they?
Yeah, the Orange
Which one?
Cassidy. It was an
Mm.
Orange Cassidy match,
Mm-hmm.
and
I do
I was
remember
like, they had to do that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, everyone's like, well, then how come it never ends during that? You know, and
No, that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, I hate it. But the greatest one of all time though was the Chris Jericho and Nick Gage, where he's like cutting them across the fucking forehead, and then they go to the commercial and it's Domino's Pizza and they're cutting across the pizza.
Yeah.
That was-
Nick Gage, man. That's pretty.
Nick Cage?
No, not no.
No.
Nick Gage is a deathmatch wrestler.
MDK.
And I'm not super familiar with his work, but like,
Mhm.
yeah, he does like the ultraviolet, like
Uh-huh.
light tube, kind of like the stuff we saw like a long.
Yeah, I don't
time
go to
ago.
those shows anymore.
Yeah, that's not my.
CZW,
It's
yeah.
not my jam either
No.
necessarily. Like, if
Well,
you
once
like
you've
it,
been
like,
bled on in your cleavage, you don't like those shows any longer.
yeah,
Were you in the ring or what?
I was not. I was on the outside.
Oh.
This before Kyle was reffing, and we were just
Yeah.
there. And they did the razor across the forehead trick,
Mhm, mhm.
and I got blood legitimately,
Oh man,
and it was the worst.
that could be your memoir, blood across
Blood in the cleavage
blood-
by,
blood in the
by
cleavage.
Gemma.
blood on the
by
boobs.
Gemma.
That was for Billy if he's
Yeah.
listening.
Hi, I'm
Um,
Gemma. Hi, I'm Gemma.
Yeah, no, but yeah, that was a funny though. But yeah, going to the Domino's pizza was
Yeah,
with
and then,
after the pizza cutter to the forehead.
and then of course like Domino's didn't even catch it, and then the Twitter people like were like, Domino's, how could you like this? And then,
yeah,
you know, like it
and
would.
then Domino's was like, oh wait, what?
Oh shit.
Yeah,
And then of course they pulled their sponsorship, which cracked me up because I was like, all they really should have done was, as soon as Domino's pulled their sponsorship, they should have called up Shaq and said, "Hey,
yeah,
get
Papa
show up
John's."
with some Papa John's pizza on the air."
yeah,
Fuck Domino's.
yeah. That's silly to even pull their sponsorship. Like,
Yeah.
what
What do you think wrestling
why?
is?
Yeah, like you're doing wrestling. It was a funny moment. That moment
Yeah.
of the the pizza cutter to the forehead into
Right.
that commercial probably got shared more times than
Oh,
any
yeah.
other Domino's
Yeah.
commercial has ever been shared
Right, right.
ever. So like it's huge marketing where people are at least seeing Domino's. And if you're seeing Domino's and you're like, oh yeah, let's get a pizza, maybe at Domino's.
I'm
Like,
surprised someone didn't make a mock commercial where Nick Gage is on there cutting pizza and cutting someone's head. You know,
Or the Noid is cutting him
The
across the head.
Noid.
oh,
Yeah.
the Noid.
wow, do people? How many people would remember what the Noid is though?
Are we showing our age here?
We are.
Sorry.
Well,
Avoid the
Yeah.
Noid.
Avoid the
Avoid.
Noid. That's-
yeah, yeah.
But people still to this day still think like Domino's Pizza, like there's a 30 minutes or less. Like
That's
Yeah.
not a thing anymore.
no, it
That
has
No,
hasn't
and
been
it
a thing.
totally should be.
That hasn't
Yeah.
been a thing since like
Oh,
the
no,
early
it shouldn't.
2000s.
Why? It
because
was-
because people got killed trying to get the pizza there. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
why
didn't
they
know about
stopped
that.
it.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Okay, sorry. people.
And it came back a lot. Like
Yeah.
it was the company blamed the drivers. They're like,
Yeah.
you didn't get there on time, and people were trying to speed and
Oh.
get there because think about how underpaid and underworked a lot of delivery drivers already are
Yeah.
anyway. So then the company's giving them more pressure and like, this is coming out of your
Yeah.
paycheck if you don't get this pizza there on time.
Well,
So
now you
then-
guys are making me feel bad. I
Wow.
just liked free pizza.
Shame on you.
It should be like an hour and a respectable time and like
right.
drive
As
safely.
long as it gets there
Like,
warm,
well,
right?
that's what I was putting like in the comments when we order pizza. And it's like, do you have any comments in there? And I'm like, tell the driver like drive safe. Like
Yeah.
I want
Aw,
you to get there
Kyle.
safe.
What
and I
a
don't want you
nice
to get
guy.
back.
What a nice guy.
I
Have you
am.
seen those
Thank you.
Domino's cards that they had that had like an oven in the side?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a new thing that like
What?
yeah, so it like keeps your pizza warm as it's being delivered to you.
Let's see. Or they kind of half cook it and then it cooks the rest of
The
the way.
way
at the
while it's
end.
driving. There's all
Something
sorts of
like
like
that.
little like delivery vehicles like
Is that safe though? Because pizza ovens need to be like
I-
at 600 degrees, is what I learned last
I
night.
don't-
We did learn that last night.
See if I can
Shout out to Cooley. What was his name, right?
I thought his name was Clutch.
Kuthi?
clutch.
No,
I've been
not-
calling him Clutch.
No,
There it
He
is.
was very sweet
he
though.
was cool. He was cool.
See the oven door.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I was watching on YouTube, and there was
That's not in Albuquerque.
no, there was a wrecked
Yeah.
one. There was a wrecked one, and this guy bought it, and he like completely restored it to original condition, and he did it on his YouTube channel. And Domino's tried to sue him, and they were like threatening to come get the car,
Oh wow.
and then he beat them in court, but he had to take all the logos off of it. I was like, that's some stupid ass shit.
What
That's
what was he
crazy.
using the car for?
Just he has a YouTube channel, and he was like, I'm
Just-
going to restore
just
it.
restore
Okay.
it because it's
It's called
busted,
it's
but not
called
trashed.
it's called Lots of Money, Gemma.
Oh
People
yeah,
like to
we don't
make-
understand that.
People like to make lots of money doing stuff
Yeah.
on
on the
YouTube.
YouTubes.
Yeah, Kyle and I are teachers. That's a concept foreign.
Yeah.
You should teach on YouTube.
Money.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, actually, that's not a bad idea, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle's like, count to 6.
One,
Man.
2, 4.
So
I
is
didn't
that
skip a number.
the worst injury you ever sustained as a referee?
Oh, my ankle break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
That's
worst injury
that's
he's
the
ever
only-
sustained ever.
Yeah, that's the worst injury.
Uh,
I broke a toe in high school
oh.
and I fractured my wrist in college.
Yeah,
But
no.
breaking my ankle was definitely the worst. But I will say I broke my ankle on a Tuesday.
Mhm.
I had surgery on a Wednesday.
Mhm.
And on Saturday, we got on a plane to go to Disneyland for your birthday.
Yep.
Oh God! And, you're on
And you
crutches?
had one of the
No.
best birthdays ever
Because
of my broken ankle.
of your broken ankle and because a dear friend of ours lent you her knee
That
scooter,
knee scooter.
and we got to
Oh.
skip the line on the
Oh.
brand new Harry Potter ride
Yep.
at Universal, and
Yep.
it was
cheaters.
Well,
it
it's
was
a lot.
awesome.
They take you in like a different way. So it's not a technical full skip of the line often. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, the line's got like an hour long wait. So here's a slip to come back to the handicap entrance in an hour. So you don't have to wait in line for an hour. I think the first time we did wait like 45 minutes though for that.
But it was a 4-hour
like a-
wait in the hot sun.
And then-
yeah, so it was fine.
And then we got off and did the ride, and they were like, "Well, you're already here. Do you want to do it again?" And so
Yeah.
we did get to do it like 4 times that
yeah,
day.
it was cool.
And
It
it
was
was
a great ride, by the way.
It was a great ride.
Did you flip off people while you were going to it? You're like, I get to get on earlier.
No, they take that for that
They
one.
take you through the back, of the castle.
You even
of
get
Hogwarts?
onto the ride in a completely different location, and then it meets up with the track for everyone else. It's crazy,
Wow.
but it was pretty cool. And so that was kind of fun to be able to.
Yeah.
What are you breaking over there?
No, I'm okay.
Did you break something?
No, I was balancing something.
Oh, that's fine. Can I get another beer?
Yeah,
Come on, Kyle, keep up.
No, it's fine.
You just asked. I'm getting it. It's fine. We're good. There you go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you by the beer fridge.
Hey, you know what? It works.
The beer dispensing fridge.
I like this sticker too. There's like a girl in like
Talk in the microphone.
Batman underwear. There's a girl
Oh.
in Batman underwear
There you go.
on the sticker on the fridge.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
There's a lot of cool ones on there.
Yeah.
Jesus, Kyle.
Well, butts are cool, man. What can I say?
Butts are cool,
Donald Duck, Shia LaBeouf, just do it.
right?
Yeah.
He's all pointing out all the stickers.
This has gotten okay.
Do you have your referee
Have you
stickers?
ever met me? Like I kind of go all over.
Kyle
the
has
place.
ADD.
Yeah, I'm.
So
I'm
do
all
I.
over the
Yeah.
place
It's fine.
sometimes.
Yeah,
It's
it's fine.
fine.
I don't have any ref stickers. You know, I've been thinking about making stickers and shirts. Like somebody asked me about that a while ago.
Say like,
Um,
come on, Kyle. Is that
well,
what they're
There's
gonna
a
say?
Kyle Sucks Instagram page.
There
Oh,
is a Kyle
is there
Sucks
really?
Instagram.
Yeah.
It's a couple of my students this year made
Oh.
like a fake hate page, and it's hilarious because
And someone really gets on there and
Oh.
says some fucked up shit. and you're like,
no, it's actually most people like going on there and be like, why are you making a hate page for Mr. Nice? He's really cool, which is kind of like nice. It makes
Yeah.
me feel good. I try to be a good teacher, you know, and it's a.
I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna be like, that scumbag piece
That's
of shit.
Mikey's already on there. Mikey
Oh.
likes to comment that how much he hates me, but
Oh wow,
that's all right.
that's fun.
Yeah,
That's really fun.
but yeah, no,
So-
but I thought about making T-shirts. Like,
Yeah.
I would what I would do is I'd make a T-shirt that's like, "Yay, Kyle, you're awesome," and then another one's like, "Fuck you, Kyle, you can't count."
Mm.
So that way, the people that love me will buy it, and
Right.
the people that hate me will buy it, and
Well-
either way, I get money.
Okay, so you're doing the oh god, what's his name? Ryan Sheckler thing? Did you ever see? Do you know who Ryan Sheckler is?
No.
So Ryan Sheckler is like the Justin Bieber of professional skateboarding. So he started skateboarding when he was like a little kid.
Okay.
Like, I mean,
All right.
professionally skating when he was a little kid. And then like when he became a teenager, he went pro, and he's like a really good looking dude. And then he got a show on MTV, Life of Ryan.
Oh, wow.
And all the other skaters were just like, oh, well, fuck you. And da, da, da.
Yeah.
So then they started selling shirts that said I hate Ryan Sheckler.
Huh.
And it was him that was
Promoting those shirts.
No, selling, making them.
Yeah. Smart move,
And I
kid.
was like, fuck,
Yeah.
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. No. Maybe I'll make some shirts that say "fuck Kyle" or something
Yeah.
like that.
Come on, Kyle.
Do your thing, babe. Do you?
Yeah. I
Hey,
don't know.
when he comes home with that big wad of cash.
Yeah. If you come home with money, I'm fine.
Yeah.
You do what you
she
need.
takes your shirt money, she throws it on the bed, and she rolls around in it and throws it in the air.
Yeah. Man.
All that wealth.
Well, I gotta
Or
make sure
the
I get it
pennies.
in ones.
Yeah.
pennies.
Make sure I get it in
Pennies.
ones, so it
Oh.
looks like there's a lot more money.
So like whenever you do, like you have to go to Lubbock, that's like a 4
About
hour,
a 5-hour drive.
5-hour drive. So how many people are you putting in a car for that?
Oh,
It's the proverbial clown car, for sure.
the first time there were 5 of us in a very
Oh,
small
God.
SUV, which was very cramped, and I
Mm.
sat middle back, and my legs were cramped up.
Middle back. Oh,
But then, so the last 2
At
times,
6'4",
yeah,
he's in middle
I'm,
back.
I'm
yeah.
very, very tall. But like the last 2 times, we took a much larger van, and like so the second time out, there's this. I've only been out there 3 times. The second time was a really big van, and then it only ended up being 3 of us. And the last time it was the big van again, and there were 5 of us. That's fine.
Was it fine with 5 people?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's like a 9-seater van. So like there's like one of those like massive, like bigger than a
Yeah.
minivan.
As-
There's like a maxi van.
Oh,
Is that
wow.
a thing? Can you
I
call it a
don't,
maxi
I don't,
van?
I don't know.
That should be a thing.
Maybe.
All right, I'm gonna copyright that.
Okay. The
Um,
maxi van.
The maxi van. But but that was it's fun. Like
I'm
it's
not gonna say anything.
it is like a 5-hour. So it's like 5 hours there. We get there. We leave here about 8 or 9, or we all meet about 8:30. Get on the road by 9. Get to Lubbock by about 3 o'clock their time because
Oh,
they're an
wow.
hour ahead of us.
Yeah.
Meetings at 4. Show starts at 6. Goes till 10.
Yeah.
Tear everything down.
Well,
And I'm like usually one of the last people to get dressed because I have to do multiple matches as a ref, you
Yeah.
know, and so like you got to do multiple things, and so then we tear down the venue and get everything cleaned out.
So
Like
you guys
the-
don't help set up then if you're getting
No,
that late?
when we're that late, we don't usually help set up. It's already there by the time we get
Yeah.
there at 3. I think they start setting up at like noon,
Oh, okay.
but like on the local shows, setting up at noon is nothing
Now,
unsurprising, and that
Um,
way it's there and
what
ready for a while.
what is a meeting like?
Man, like so, like for SCP, I mean, just going over every match on the card and making sure that everyone knows who the ref is, who's assigned, what's happening. Like if there's a video promo to air before or after the match,
Oh, okay.
like just that, like the technical kind of stuff.
Are
Like,
people-
Who's going to
nothing-
win what match?
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
major.
Are people going through their matches like before the event? Are they like doing like a walkthrough?
Some
Some
it's-
people.
It's that's like such a like it's up to each individual. Like
Yeah.
some people, I've been in matches where 2 wrestlers did not talk to each other.
Yeah.
They didn't even look each other in the eye until they were in the ring, and they went out there and had a great match.
Yeah.
And some people, they try and go through every moment of what they want to
Yep.
do, but things always change as well. So like
Mm.
it's
Mhm.
whatever. Everyone has their own style, and they
Right.
get out there and go do their stuff.
You have to be able to improv on
Yeah.
at the moment. Yeah.
And that's, I mean, that's part of that. Yeah, that's part of wrestling is the improv aspect
Oh,
to it.
okay.
So you know, it's
interesting.
getting out there and performing.
Yeah. And I mean,
You know?
and the people, that's the thing. Like people are like, oh, these 2 guys hate each other. I don't know how they work together. It's a job. It's
Yeah.
literally a job.
Do
But-
they often actually hate each other in real life? though?
Some of them.
Some of them
Yeah,
do.
absolutely.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Bret Hart,
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels.
Oh,
Big time.
hate.
Yeah.
hate. Legitimately hated each other.
And then killer matches. You know?
It's
Killer.
well, your job. Your job is to go out
Yeah.
there and
Yeah.
perform and do what you do your craft.
Yeah.
Whether you like the person
I
you're
mean-
working. We all have people. We've all been in jobs. So
yeah.
we've worked with people that. I mean, you were just talking earlier that your boss at the radio. Like you might not necessarily like some of the people you're working with, but
Mhm.
you have to work with them.
Well,
and
yeah, I
function.
mean,
And
that's
so,
just
like,
being an adult. but,
exactly.
like,
That's just how it goes.
Well, and I mean, you got like, actors. They're like, oh, they did this movie together and they absolutely hated each other. And it's like, wow,
Yeah.
you never could tell.
Yep.
And I mean, that's just being a professional,
mhm.
Yep.
Be a professional, Gemma.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Nice.
It made me forget what I was going to
I'm
say.
sorry.
With that. It's okay.
And I just felt that as soon as I did it.
It's,
I know.
it's okay. With like you could literally see it vanish from my brain, but that's
I did.
yeah.
I watched it leave.
Well, I guess it's just from what I do see because you have it on a lot at home. The big like productions of Rivals and all the
Mhm.
fighting and stuff doesn't feel all that organic or like actual, you know,
Right.
like autonomous.
Because that's
to
the whole point. It's supposed to look like a fight.
but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
Of course
I'm
not.
trying to think of
Like who? Yeah.
the Wizard.
Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
The Wizard.
That's his new
What?
thing.
That's his new thing. Have you not?
Oh,
you haven't
that's
watched?
a whole new thing.
He
He's
calls. Oh,
He
'cause
throws fireballs.
He threw a fireball
Oh,
in
yeah,
Eddie
yeah,
Kingston's
yeah.
face, and so then he
Yeah.
called himself a wizard, and it caught fire.
And the Spanish guy,
Eddie Kingston.
Sammy Guevara,
Sammy Guevara.
Oh.
They broke up their group. They're
Yeah,
like
yeah,
their
yeah.
their band.
the Inner Circle.
Mhm.
Okay.
There you go.
And they cut Jericho's hair.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't see that.
Yeah.
That was this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But all of the fighting about that always felt very forced afterwards because I don't think they're really not friends.
I don't even know if they are friends though. Actually,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if
Oh.
they ever were friends or if
Yeah.
they were just like, we're gonna do this story. We're in a group together,
Yeah.
and
Then it's far more acting than
Absolutely.
Huh?
I mean, who's
right, Kyle.
I mean,
it depends on who you're working with and who they
Well-
are. Like,
who's the largest actor in the world right now?
yeah. Dude,
Oh.
The
There you go.
Rock.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
a very good point.
Oh, wrestler.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, and it's crazy because he really only wrestled for like 6 years.
Mhm.
Like he was
And-
barely really
And
there.
you talk about someone who like didn't really pay their dues, but came in and was like as smooth or fluid of a wrestler could be.
Well, because he's
I
third
mean,
generation.
But
It was
yeah.
in his like it's in his blood. Like,
I mean,
you know, his family grew
Yeah.
up, so he's probably been in a
I was-
ring
I
since
was-
he was 4.
Yeah, I was trying to explain it
Not
to him.
younger.
I was like, I've never seen someone like just so fluid in the ring.
Yeah.
You know?
No, The Rock is great, and you know, it took him a little while. Like he had the Rocky Maivia,
Yeah.
you know, sort of worked for a while, and then
Rocky
you know,
sucks.
and then when he became The Rock, he
Yeah.
was The Rock, and like he's made that into his
Have you
brand.
have you watched any of the TV show Young Rock? Have you guys watched that?
We watched like the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh, I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And they're in this the second season just
second
ended.
seasons. Yeah,
And
Already.
yeah.
so they got to the parts where he's becoming a wrestler,
Okay.
and they've had the actors that are like Stone Cold and Undertaker.
So spoiler, he does
Uh,
become a wrestler in the show.
Oh, I know, weird.
Damn it.
But it's funny because like people are like just going off on like the people that are portraying the
Yeah.
wrestlers. In like the Stone Cold one, the guy had hair when they first showed him, and it's because it was when Rock first got there.
Yeah.
So then they
So
show
he
him,
wasn't Stone Cold Steve Austin yet.
and then they show the actor later on, like when he's with Doc Hendricks, and he's like, you know, you got your Psalms and you got your, you know, and he's like Austin 3, and the dude, he looks pretty
Yeah.
good, as you know.
yeah.
But the people that they got to play Macho Man is pretty good.
Uh-huh.
The guy they got to play his dad is amazing.
Okay.
Like that guy looks like him. The guy who else is awesome? I'm trying to think. I thought the people were like crapping on the Andre, and I'm like, dude, that guy looks like Andre did. Like people are used to Andre later in life.
yeah.
He looked different when he was younger, but they're like, well, he's not as bad. I was like, how the fuck are you going to find a guy
Yeah.
that's 7'5"
Well-
and looks like fucking Andre?
Yeah. No. Yeah. We want. That's like. That's
Oh, the
thing,
guy who
like-
looks like the Sheik is the dude who plays the Sheik is right on.
Huh. Yeah, we'll catch up on that eventually. I'll have to get to that point, but that's too far. Like when you want, like, I want it to look just like the pictures look, from what I remember, or just what my memory tells me it looks like, and like that's not the way things can always
Right.
be. Like sometimes, you know, it takes a little while.
But the dude who's playing the Sheik, like pretty damn
Yeah.
good. And like, yeah, like there he is on the show.
Okay.
Like right there, like you're like, holy crap, dude, he looks like the Iron Sheik, man. You're like, and the guy who plays his dad, I think is fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's the Andre.
Yeah. Yeah.
that
See,
looks like Andre.
Yeah,
I
that
think
looks like
totally.
Andre. I mean, for someone who's I
Yeah.
mean, that guy's probably 6'6", 6'7",
Yeah.
big enough. Looks like
Big enough,
Andre
yeah.
enough. Yeah, that's fine.
Camera
Yeah.
angles. That's all you need.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, and I'm pretty sure it's that Sheik, like that version of the Sheik there.
Yeah.
My aunt used to date him a long time
There's
ago.
What?
the-
apparently.
Who?
Oh,
Aunt
wow.
Debbie.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. She says she has a box of like memorabilia that
Yeah.
she keeps meaning to send to me but that was also before I pissed her off. So I don't
There's
know.
the dude doing the Macho Man.
Huh.
And
Nice.
then that's Jake the Snake Roberts.
Wow, that looks pretty good.
Pretty
That
good,
looks
right?
real good.
You know?
Yeah.
And they show Damien and he's like a little snake because he's like he's a baby.
He's a baby snake.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. I don't know.
Damien. That's cute.
Yeah, I don't know,
Well,
man.
that's fun,
I
man.
love it. I think it's fantastic. And you know, the whole time he's like running for president. You know,
Oh, that's
Which
right. It's
cracks
like
me
the
up.
interview is
Yeah.
all the flashbacks,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And it cracks me. I didn't realize he was such a like kleptomaniac. He would steal all the time.
Really?
The Rock, yeah.
Huh.
He was always shoplifting. I didn't know that, but that's kind of it's kind of interesting.
Winona Ridering things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of those things like people were like, I had this conversation with someone the other night, and it's like we were talking about being poor, and we were talking about how like I was actually getting a tattoo, and the guy was like, you know, he's like, I just wanted my life to feel like I can like go buy something or not have to worry about like where my next paycheck is.
Mhm.
And I said that, you know, and you know, I make a pretty good living. And I was like, well, you know, the weirdest thing being poor my whole life is when I could just be like somewhere and I'm like, oh, cool. And then I'm like, and then just grab it and throw it on the thing and buy it.
And it
And-
doesn't register any second
Well,
doubt
Or I'm not having to do the math in my head,
Yeah.
gotcha.
you know?
Yep.
And like,
Yep.
and I said that to him and he's like, yeah, like, you're like, okay. All right. I can do this.
This will be
You know,
Yep.
in like, I was talking to someone and they're like, I've never had it. I was like, because then you've never been poor.
Yeah.
If you've never had to do the math in your head, and when
Yeah,
you go to
figure
buy
out.
something,
And the
Yeah.
sad thing is that that's no longer just a
Mhm.
category of
yeah,
poor.
right,
It's a category of working middle class now.
There you
It's
go,
a
yeah.
completely. It's no longer just subject to people living in projects or
Right.
whatever. Like
right,
We are-
extreme poverty.
yeah, like you and I. Well, I'm not a teacher any longer, but even when we were
Yeah.
both teaching, we still lived that way,
Right.
and we were in legitimate professions,
right.
and you still can't. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's just not.
No,
Yeah.
and so like you know, like seeing somebody like you know, someone's like, oh wow, I can't believe such and such shoplifting their kid. I mean, sometimes that's that survival instinct where you're just trying to like, you know. You're less worried about going to jail than you are worried about surviving. And it's
Right,
kind of
right.
an interesting thing. And then they're
Yep.
like, very true. And then I saw someone was like, if you're snitching on someone for shoplifting food, they're like that's none of your business.
Oh,
And I was like,
absolutely.
and I was like, yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. I was
Well,
like, yeah.
that's like all of that stuff is
Mhm.
insured anyway. So like you know, every grocery store
Yeah,
has an amount of they know what's going to get stolen per year,
right.
and it's all part of their insurance, and it's
Yeah.
all fine. It's like if someone's really stealing because they absolutely need to eat,
Right.
whatever.
There's no
man.
reason
and it's,
for people to have
well,
to steal food in
that's-
this country. There
and
should be
that's-
absolutely no reason.
there
for
should
it.
be plenty of food. I
Uh,
mean, there is plenty of food all
Mhm.
over the world, and
Yeah.
we just waste it and throw
We
it in the
waste the most
trash.
food here.
Oh yeah, that's just
That's-
ridiculous.
that's terrible. You guys just wasting food all over the place.
I mean, I just like little bites of things, and then I'm done. Yeah, you know,
You just take like 2 bites.
two bites.
Throw it in the trash right in
Smell
front,
it.
right in front of a shelterless
Shelter.
person.
I'll go down to Joy Junction and just smell the food and then throw it away.
Yeah.
I'm an asshole.
And no, you don't throw it away. You like stomp it into
So
the
they
sidewalk.
can't have it at all.
Yeah.
Man, that's messed up.
Jim is evil, by
Jim
the
is
way.
dark and twisty. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would be fucked up
Ouch.
though.
That would be the worst thing to do ever.
Oh, man, yeah,
that would be awful.
That's pretty. That's like monumentally fucked up. I can't even believe you're joking about it.
That's like Maxwell Jacob Friedman kind of shit.
Yeah.
I hate MJF.
That's the whole point.
That's funny. You know, like you my non-wrestling fan wife is, you know, she knows about the Inner Circle. She knows about Jericho.
I didn't
she
know
knows
the
about
name
the
of the Inner
Wizard.
Circle.
She's a total mark.
Hey,
A what?
we don't use that word.
We don't use that word.
You saw that quote from Regal, right? I don't
No.
like that word. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
The Regal doesn't. Why would you? So Mark is
And I
generally
thought-
regarded as someone who, like,
Yeah.
you know, is a diehard fan, spends all their money on wrestling, or, you know, and it's pretty much just to wrestling, or
Right.
like, or sometimes like in like shoplifting or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, that's the mark. Like they're gonna steal something from someone,
Right.
or like,
Well, it all comes from like the
Oh, the
Carney,
Carney
the Carney
talk.
days. Yeah. And it'd be like, oh, there's the mark. There's the person
Yeah.
we're gonna.
You're
pull
gonna
That
over.
would be Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle's an easy market for the
Oh.
carnies.
for the Carnies. That was 16 years.
That was
17.
18
That was
years
8.
ago.
Oh my god, it was 18 years ago.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Did you think you
whatever.
could make the basketball in the hoop?
He tried to win an Xbox
on
on our first date and wasted a lot of money
It was like
with this
40
carny.
bucks.
It was way more than $40.
It was like $40.
Yeah.
Believe me.
What
it
was
way
the
more.
what was the game?
I think it
It
was
was
the base.
the
It was
ball
the
in the
softball
bucket.
in the bucket to keep it in the bucket,
Oh.
which seems like it should be super easy, but
No,
they
yeah,
rig it to
yeah.
bounce it out.
It's all rigged. Yeah.
You know,
I
have
know.
you ever watched? So there's a whole YouTube channel where a guy shows you like how they're rigged,
No.
and then he shows you how to beat them.
I saw one last
Yeah.
night on like
Oh, you can win your money back.
like
now.
the it was the rope ladder. How to that
Mhm.
you the way to
Mhm.
do the rope ladder is to walk up it backwards, but you're not allowed to walk
No.
up it backwards.
Right.
That's one of the rules. Because that's the way to do it. Because it's
Gotcha.
basically a tightrope.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's and that's yeah.
Right.
So
And then the one you're talking about, like if you throw it, it like hits the basket and bounces back
Mhm,
out.
mhm.
So you want to throw it up in the air and let it come down and like land on the lip and
And like roll back in.
yeah,
right. So the lip stops it and
because the moment,
Yeah.
all the momentum.
Well,
of
and Kyle's
the
also not
force-
very athletic, so
Oh.
he would miss the bucket a couple times.
I love when you're saying these and I put it on him and he's just like,
He's so upset.
he's like, ah.
Yeah, that's for
Oh
you, man.
dang.
Yeah, that's my one count. That's my
Well,
do
one
you, guys,
count.
do you guys fight a lot at home?
Not really.
No.
No.
Not really.
Oh, that's pretty good though, because like you just get like I like how you kind of like dig at each other, but it's like
Oh, it's
Oh.
totally fine. Yeah.
yeah.
No, we love the fuck out of each other.
He told me I looked like a whore in my shorts the other day.
Jesus
That's
Christ!
And that was probably the worst he's done in a while.
That is not
Yeah.
what I said at
It
all.
is. We were
No.
at the bar and you're literally like, oh, I always say you look like a whore in those shorts.
Somebody said no. Somebody else said something about shorts first, making a joke, and I took the joke and extended it terribly, but it did not call
This is
you a
when Kyle
whore.
has too much whiskey.
I
and
was
he
really
has
drunk.
no.
Oh yeah, that was
filter at
Tuesday.
all.
That was after school got out.
Yes, it
So I
was.
mean,
Oh man,
That was like-
oh,
It
so
was the shorts I was wearing last night, Chris. They
Ah,
weren't hoary.
I didn't even notice, so I don't know.
that's why it was a joke because you're not a whore, clearly.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. I
Jeez.
just like
No,
very-
you're fine. You don't have to.
I'm very oblivious to
Jeez.
I'm like like you were like, did you see such and such's hair? It was for Pride
Oh.
Month, and I'm like, no, I didn't notice.
You didn't
that.
notice. It was beautiful.
It was
Jessie had
cool.
beautiful pride hair
Oh, yeah.
yesterday.
Did
Yes.
she do that herself?
She did. She's
I
amazing.
want to dye my hair.
So getting back to the school thing. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
when school gets out, are you just like schools
Oh, yeah.
out?
Wait,
forever?
there's a lot of teachers that often play that song, and we did have a bunch of the teacher friends. We went up to Howie's up on Montgomery Howie's Sports Bar.
the Packer bar.
Our band director loves that bar,
yeah. I used to live across the street from it.
and so he went up there and he put in like the owner of the bar knows the band director, so he put in a bunch of like tokens in the jukebox
And
so we
it-
could pick songs. So we were
right.
so we did that. So like it was like School's Out, Hot for Teacher, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, they all sit
Yeah.
around and get really, really drunk. We have
Yeah.
a lot of friends who are also teachers. We
Talk
went to
shit
that
about the
party.
kids that they hated.
Mostly the parents. I'm just kidding. No, it's just
Yeah.
it's a
No, I'm kidding.
good
No.
way to everybody lets off a steam for the end of the
It's kind
year.
of,
and
yeah.
Mm.
Try and relax a little bit because I mean this year's been the hardest year of teaching for almost every teacher right now.
Really? Just because
Like-
everybody coming back from COVID?
Coming back and like I mean so like a lot so all right so we ended school March 13th 2020
Okay.
right kids came back to school like in a trial setting basically like they were given the option to come back in April 2021 so a year later and only about a third of the kids came back for that little time and it was like in masks and still very COVID heavy.
Yeah.
And then when we came back from summer, we had masks on. I mean, I wore my mask until spring break of this year.
Mhm.
Like I had, that, and then after spring break, it kind of started like easing up a little bit more. Like less and less kids were wearing masks the further the year kind of went on.
Oh, okay.
But it still was just like some kids were at home by themselves for like 2 years and just
Jeez.
didn't have. Their parents are working a lot. These jobs where they're not paid super well. They're not fortunate enough to be at home with their kid and make sure that they are doing their homework or whatever, and have all sorts of struggles. A lot of people dealt with a lot of crazy
Oh,
shit
I
over
bet.
this last year, and like that's hard, man. And then
Yeah.
coming back and trying to like get into rhythms and like the beginning of the year, it was so much like we're not even worried about the content right now. We want to just let you know that you're loved, and we're going to figure out how to be human again.
Yeah.
And that takes some time. Like
well, you guys did.
when we,
I don't know if that was a universal
Well,
choice of all teachers, but
and
Yeah.
some people came in and were like, no, yeah, we're going back.
You
content
fucking learned
right
your
away.
algebra or you're never getting into college,
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Right.
Well, and yeah,
Well,
it's-
kids lost 2 years of socializing too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and for middle school, what Kyle teaches, that's a
So
huge,
important.
huge part
What do you
of
think
what
that's
they do.
gonna? What do you think the long-lasting effects of that are gonna be?
I think most kids will bounce back from it over the course of the next year or two.
Okay.
I think it's going to take longer.
You think so?
I do. I think for your kids, your age group specifically, those who went into the end of 5th grade year, end of 6th grade year, that's just such a really important time in their socializing
Yeah.
and learning how to just be humans and
Mm,
not
yeah.
be little. They're not quite little kids, but they're
Yeah.
not quite teenagers, and it's just
I got you.
you're going to see a lot of these kids not know how to be in the world.
Yeah,
But
I mean, you know,
I think they'll figure that out in the next
Hopefully.
couple of years. It'll
Yeah.
take
I
some-
hope
a
so.
while,
I
like-
just think it's not going to
and-
bounce back quite that quickly.
no,
but
I mean I mean we're already, and obviously we're not done with the pandemic by
No.
any
No.
means.
No.
Like things are still back and forth. There's still potential for more variants. Like all the stuff that we know, we're still getting vaccinated. It's just getting lessened,
Right.
and it will eventually become more flu-like, where we have
Right.
like a COVID season. We
Yeah.
get our shot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You make sure you're good. And if you're sick, stay home, which is the
Right.
way it should be, whether
Oh,
you're at the flu or anything else.
That's
like-
actually why Holly Ann is not here. She
right, we're going to
has
say
the
thank you for staying home.
she has the norovirus, and I was like, at first I thought she like spelled coronavirus wrong, and then I was like, looked it up, and I was like, it's a flu, but if he feels like you have food poisoning, and I'm like, oh, I've had food poisoning, and I thought I was
Yeah.
going to die for 3 days, and I was
So
like, yeah,
please do not come.
please do not come,
yeah,
and
Well,
do not,
that's-
yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah, we
Yeah.
just kind of have to get back to that and
Yeah.
realize, like, but that's also really hard when you have certain jobs that suck, and they're like, no, you must be here, and it's
Oh.
like,
How many times have you gone to work sick
E-
because you had
yeah.
to?
Musk,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
well, and it's
You know,
just, yeah, and there's how many jobs realize they could do things remote over the
a
pandemic,
lot of
and
them.
now they're like, no, you need to come back into the office because we want you here,
right,
and it's like, that's silly. If they're getting the job done, they're getting the job
Yeah.
done.
yeah,
What does it matter
You
whether
know,
they're there?
yeah.
If they work better at home,
mine's
let them
50,
stay at
mine's
home.
still 50-50.
is it?
Well, that's nice.
It is, and it's like interesting because it's like there's like one coworker I've only seen like in the last 2 years. I've seen him one time.
Wow.
I didn't even know what he looked like.
Because you
till-
never overlap.
No, I saw him a month ago for the first time in the 2 years he's been.
Wow.
We've been
Crazy.
and I was like, oh, that's what he looks like.
You
yeah.
didn't have Zoom meetings?
No, we did not.
Wow.
Yeah.
I told you I work.
I know. Well, I just thought maybe.
No. Oh no.
Oh, so you haven't had the
Mm-mm.
pleasure of Zoom with multiple people
No.
all in one.
Oh,
no.
man.
We have meetings with multiple people, but we just don't have cameras.
Okay.
So,
So
Oh,
when COVID
lucky.
first hit, I was teaching a preschool class and had 23 and 4-year-olds on a Zoom class
oh wow,
every day for 2 hours.
yeah.
It was the most chaotic,
You're all-
ridiculous.
I'm not in the room with them, but I could still tell which one's the stinky one. I just can.
just the like, and then they tried to have their parents with them to like keep
Yeah.
them
Mhm.
in front of the camera and just these things. And finally, I
Uh.
was just like, it's not working with
Yeah.
a bunch
Really?
of 3-year-olds. We couldn't do it.
Oh,
it's
3-year-olds?
crazy.
3-year-olds,
That's
3 and 4-year-olds.
No, it-
No,
Even
it
at
was
the
ridiculous.
middle school, like I found out. So this is something I didn't know during that year that we were all online. Like I would stream videos to my kids, and I'd be on like explaining things to them or whatever. And when they came back, they would like after the following year,
Mhm.
a lot of my 8th graders were like, "Oh yeah, last year like you would cut out like every 10th word or every
wow.
few seconds." And I was like, "Well, why didn't anyone say anything then?" And they were like, "I don't know." But like they were so much of the even instruction, like I'm giving you instructions and this word is cutting out, that word's cutting out, like and
There
or
was
I'm
never
showing you a
hold on.
video.
Hold on. There was never that one kid that's like,
Sir!
I'm going to go to Yale. I'm
Yeah.
going to go to Harvard. Sir, you forgot
Yeah.
to give us homework today.
No, I mean, I don't do homework. Middle school doesn't need homework. There's already too much.
Well, Kyle
work
also
and-
teaches film. There's not a lot of homework in film
What?
history.
It's if they
What?
if they
Yeah.
if they need to finish something, like I give them plenty of time to
Yeah.
work on it in class. If they need time to take it home, cool, take
Hold
it home.
on.
But I don't assign
In
homework.
junior high,
Yeah.
you teach kids film.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by that?
Like they learn how to write scripts. They learn how to edit.
You're like today, kids are going to get a master class. This is called Goodfellas. We're going to watch it.
yeah,
They do watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
We watch and dissect and
Oh wow!
look at. It's basically the same things that they do in like language arts a lot
Wow.
with like
In
looking
junior
at
high.
heroes'
Mhm.
journeys and
Wow. The
like,
story arc. Yeah.
story arcs. Like we do that, but with movies.
Hmm. And there's
Um,
like literally only like 7 actual stories.
Yeah.
Something like that. I was
Very,
like,
yeah, like yeah,
and
and
there's
when you tear it
variations of
apart,
it,
yeah, there's
yeah.
Man
variations.
versus man. man versus nature.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun, and I teach animation, and I do our daily YouTube announcements. We do announcements every day on YouTube, so every teacher can play a video, or kids
Oh,
can
wow.
watch it even if they're not at school.
Guys, you're gonna get a real treat today. This is P.T. Anderson. It's called Boogie Nights.
Let's not show that one.
No.
Wait to see who the star is, kids. I'm kidding.
What
That'd
are
be
you
tough.
doing over there now? She's breaking things again.
Busted.
Hi, I'm Gemma. I'm Gemma.
There
I
we
break
go.
things.
I got it at the right volume at that time.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yeah,
So
man.
whenever, like, I'm sure there's probably not not a big deal in like the indies,
Mm-hmm.
but like you being 6'4",
Oh man.
does that ever fuck with people because they're like they're not tall and they're like, shit, there's a 6'4" ref.
So my first time in Lubbock,
Mhm.
we're at the production meeting. We're going over the card, and I'm the first match. I'm brand new to this company, so I know Happy and Nine are the guys I rode out with, and like we're sitting there and going over stuff, and like everyone's there, and they're like, all right, we're going over the match. Reggie is going against. Man,
Blah,
I
blah,
don't remember who else Reggie was going, but I love Reggie. Reggie, shout out to Reggie out in Dallas. And Reggie turns to someone, he goes, "You're my ref, man. I hate you already," because Reggie's about a foot shorter than me.
Oh wow.
And but he's like the big wrestler guy, and
Uh.
I'm taller than him. And I was like, dude, I'll squat down. I try and squat down as much as I can, because I mean that's part of the show is sometimes when
Yeah.
the smaller ref makes that wrestler look bigger.
Yeah.
But it also plays to your advantage in the midget company.
That's
Yes.
the little people.
That
They prefer the word midget.
Yeah.
in the
Oh, they
company.
do.
Yes.
the company's name is
That
Midget
company.
Midget Warrior
Oh,
Wrestling.
I did not know that.
So they prefer that in that aspect
Ah.
midget. But yes, they love. So when I did a show,
Yeah, because it
so,
looks funny because they're like the big tall guy.
Well, it's,
Yeah.
and again, it's the opposite effect.
Yeah.
I'm so tall, it makes them look smaller.
Ah.
And so, yeah, my friend Valentina Loca, shout out to her up
Mm-hmm.
at Black and Brave. What?
He's doing his
Yeah.
shout outs.
I'm just
That's
smiling.
awesome. She was
can't
their,
even
she was their
look at him.
champion for a while. And she is not a midget, but she is incredibly short. She's like
She makes me
4
look tall.
foot
Oh wow.
9 maybe, but she was their champion for a while, and they did a show down in Las Cruces on St. Patrick's Day,
Okay.
and so they were looking for a tall ref in the area, and so I got booked for that show. And
Okay,
drove down
hold on
there.
a second. They had a show on St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did they do? They didn't do that, did they?
They
Yeah.
really
It
did.
was
Did
a
they- I know-
midget wrestling show,
But
on
nobody
St.
dressed up
Patrick's
as
Day.
a
That's what I
leprechaun.
was-
Nobody
that's-
dressed up as a leprechaun. I think
So it wasn't
I think-
terrible.
there's a guy named Rob the Giant who like had, I think, like a green
Yeah.
jacket with shamrocks on it, but it wasn't like really dressed up like a
I have a picture somewhere where I'm in New Orleans on St. Patrick's Day, and I have a picture with a little person dressed as a leprechaun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did that on his own accord,
I
right?
assume
I'm
so.
assuming.
I'm
Well,
assuming.
but I mean, you know what? Also, I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably someone paid him a certain amount of money, and they're like, whether they necessarily want to or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you need the money, you
Well,
do.
he was just like out in the
I don't know.
street, like going around.
Oh,
he
just
was
walking
probably
around.
drunk
Yeah.
well, and
in New Orleans
whatever.
on St. Patrick's
Yeah,
Day.
yeah. So, but yeah, man, Midget Wrestling Warriors, that was fun, and I've got 2 more shows with them later this year.
Oh wow.
They are flying me right now. We're scheduled to Indiana.
Oh
and
man, you're
New
hitting
York.
the big time. They're flying you places.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Business
big
class?
time.
No.
Southwest.
Southwest.
Back at the plane. That's all right. It's
do,
fine.
do, do you like, here's a do you have to pay for the ticket and then they reimburse you?
No, they
Oh, that sucks.
they do these up front, and these
Yeah.
Why?
those are streamed.
I'll tell you in a second.
Yeah, those are streamed on like an iPay-per-view, internet pay-per-view
Oh.
as well. So I'll send you the link so you can buy
Okay.
one.
So the reason why I say that is because then like what you do is you sign up. You either get like a Southwest credit card, or you sign up for them, and then you buy the ticket on your own,
Uh-huh.
and then they reimburse you, and you start getting the points.
Oh,
And
okay.
Then, and then
okay.
and then
Yeah,
you can use it, and that's probably what they're doing.
yeah,
They're using their points to fly you, probably.
yeah, and that's. I mean,
Yeah.
there's. I think that's what Nick up at Lucha Libre and Laughs has done
I'm
too. When
sure,
he
yeah.
flies people in, he pays for all the tickets, he gets everything,
Yeah.
but then every once in a while he'll be able to fly someone else in
Yeah.
for free because he's got enough points built
Oh,
up.
I'm
which,
sure. I'm
if
sure
you're
that
running a
was pretty
business,
fast.
that makes sense to do it that way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I learned that because I having to fly for business, and I'm like, ooh. So I have the Marriott
Oh, Marriott Bonvoy.
Bonvoy. I've got the racking up those points.
There
man.
you go.
All the free,
Nice.
all the free shit.
Yeah.
You can't use your own rapid reward number.
I don't know about that one for yet. But
Yeah.
I gotta figure that out.
That's
and
pretty
see.
cool though.
But yeah, I mean, like and that's one thing that like, I'm realistic, and that's something that Mick Foley told me when I was talking to him, and I told him I was a referee, and he kind of looked at me strange. He was like, because I'm a giant, and he was just like, I was like, I know I'm too tall, and he goes, oh, at least you're self-aware, which is fine. I'm too tall.
Yeah, 'cause you're taller than him.
I'm never gonna be. I mean, Undertaker's only 6'6", 6'5".
Is he really?
Yeah. So if I'm in the ring next to him, like, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't.
How tall is Kane? Because Kane was way taller. He was huge.
I feel like Kane's only like 6'8". I'd have to look it up to be sure, but like,
let's see. I thought, dude, Kane towered over. I'm 6'2", and he was way bigger than me.
Yeah,
but I mean,
but
I spilled it on.
Oh, you broke it.
Oh,
I broke it.
You broke your keyboard.
Probably.
Oh no!
It's not the first time it's had beer spilled on it.
Yep.
So I don't know. I guess we won't know.
Well, just see if you can spell it without the E. And
you
then
guys, I have a phone.
H-E-I-G-H-T.
So that's how Kane is, because he was huge.
But yeah, like, and granted too, like, their gear, it might add to that. Like
70.
Really?
That's what it says.
He's huge. He was big.
Wow.
I can't believe I've met the Undertaker, but I was a kid, so I don't really remember.
Yeah, like, but I mean, I know I'm so tall. Like, I'm WWE, and I'm 41. Like, I'm not, a young buck. So like, I'm not gonna. I wasn't even doing it for that. Shut up. But I'm not. I still have. I have a few years of indie reffing in me.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer. But I'm not gonna.
Is it pretty hard on your body?
On the knees sometimes, but like it's not
it's
terrible.
Probably more so that it's actually good for him.
Oh,
like it's active,
I definitely feel that it is good for me. It makes me want to be more athletic, to be in better shape, and just for my life in general. Like, and I'm like, so like that aspect of it, like it keeps me healthier than I think I could be if I wasn't doing it.
It's better than sitting watching pay-per-views with like chips and dip.
Well, and I've got to.
What are you trying to attack me over here?
No, I'm attacking him.
Are you trying to say that about me?
We just watched the pay-per-view and we had chips and dip and pizza.
That's exactly
and it was delicious.
What's the worst what's the worst injury that you happened in the ring while you were reffing?
I don't think I've really had anything major.
That's great.
Nothing major. Yeah,
fantastic.
Thankfully, like, knock on wood.
No one got pile drived and
that's wood. Not wood.
That's not wood.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's shitty wood. Yeah.
No, nothing's been. I mean, before I was reffing, there was a match at DWO where somebody went over the top onto a ladder.
Oh God!
And had to be carted out and could not finish the match.
Dude,
that was Joe Quesada was in that match.
Oh wow! Wasn't Joe? Was it?
No. Joe was fine, but the guy who got hurt was supposed to win, and that changed how things go because he couldn't. Walk right.
I went. Hobo Hank,
Yeah, Hobo Hank,
friend of the show, Hobo Hank. Has
he been on the show?
Oh, like four or five times. Yeah.
Yeah, we should bring him back.
I actually. Do you not know all that story?
I don't know.
So like, I don't even remember how we met. Oh man, I'm trying to think. Someone introduced, like, my dad. I took my dad to go watch, and he was like all about him. I have a koozie somewhere.
Okay.
And he was like, my dad was like, oh man, and he's like, you should have him on your show. And then I don't remember who introduced us, and I asked him to come, and then he came, and then like he loved, we had a great time. We talked forever, and then he did it like 3 or 4 more times. Nice. But then he was like, I used to have in the old place, I had a green screen up and everything, and so he would come over. And we would do his promos that he would put on social media.
Nice.
And we would put whatever behind him and stuff. So then, how did that all happen? So then he wrestled. We did the one. Oh, that's what it was. So he was going to wrestle Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah.
And
I got to ref that match.
Yeah. And so he's like, hey, I got to wrestle Tommy Dreamer. Can I come over and record a promo? And I was like, hell yeah. And like he came over, and then like he's like, trying to write his promo, and I was like, here, say this and this and this, and he's like, yeah, and so he does it. So then he puts it out. Tommy Dreamer sees it, and he's like, oh man, I love this.
Yeah.
And like they wrestle, and like Tommy Dreamer's like, I became a fan of his. So then Tommy Dreamer was doing the Edge and Christian podcast at that time,
and with the Tales of the Indies section.
Yeah, and so he sent them the promo that Hobo Hank and I made. And then whenever Tommy Dreamer was like out of the country and he couldn't do the Tales from the Indies, they hit up. I keep wanting to say his real name.
Yeah.
And they hit up Hobo and they're like, "Hey, will you fill in for?"
Yeah.
And so he did, and I was just
I
like,
remember
"Holy
listening
shit."
to those.
And then when he got the Vice thing,
Yeah.
he called his wife and then he called me.
Oh, nice.
He's like, "Hey," I was at work and I was like, "Weird, my phone's ringing and it's Hobo Hank." I go outside and he's like, "Tell me about it." He's like, "I need your help." He's like, "I need to make promos for the match." And he's like, "And then if you can help me try to figure out where we're going to do it." And I didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
So him and what is his name? The guy he fought,
Thunder.
Johnny Thunder. So they both came over on a Saturday morning, and me and my friend did all of the promos with them, and like we just changed the background so that it was like
so it looked like they weren't in the same room.
Yeah. And then like Joe was helping Thunder. He's like, "Here, say this about me. Do another one." He's like, "Say this about me." So those promos were all done in my house over on Rosemont.
Nice.
And then it was just funny, like we, and then the whole Vice thing came out, and I was like, kind of like, "Wow, this is dope as fuck."
That was
dude.
pretty
Good
cool,
for
man.
you.
I remember. Yeah, that was.
And it's all him, but like I felt like I had a little bit of part of it, like
That's
to help
cool.
him.
I didn't know you had a part in that, but that's cool. Yeah, man, I love Hobo. Hobo was out at Lubbock.
Yeah,
this last time too. It was pretty fun.
And he's kind of like, I don't know if he's still like this, but last time I saw him, he's kind of like, I think winding down a little bit, like his career.
Yeah, I don't know entirely. Like,
I don't know.
I haven't talked to him in a while.
I talked to him in Mountain Air, and he was just like, I was like, "Are you going to win the title?" And he's like, "God, I hope not." He's like, "I don't want all that." Yeah, he's like, he's like,
It's got to take a toll on a man's body.
And
right?
it definitely does. Like, I mean, it's like we said earlier, it's not a trampoline. It's not just like this bouncing on a bed. Like it's, and a lot of these guys have put their bodies on the line for entertainment's sake for not a lot of dollars.
Sports entertainers.
And he's been doing it since he was like 17 or 18.
Yeah.
And he's like he's in mid-40s.
Hobo, Mosh Pit Mike, Thunder. They were all in LAW, which is the Legends and Amateurs of Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Out of Los Lunas, I think it was at the time.
Okay.
So that was that was back before I even knew that scene it really existed.
And if you guys are listening and you want to go check that out, it's like Vice on YouTube, and it's Hobo Hank, and I think it's like wrestler manages at Chili's.
I think if you just search Vice and Hobo Hank, you're gonna find it.
Yeah, and they did it. It was really cool.
It was cool. That interview was really fun.
They came and did a whole they recorded the whole like matches. The whole
they recorded the whole show. They did interviews. I had an interview in it, but it didn't make the final part.
I know.
Yeah, that's all right.
I was in the front row.
Nice.
What was his name? Was sitting behind me. From the Insane Clown Posse.
Oh, Shaggy. Shaggy was in town. I heard about that after the fact, but
I did too, and like they were fucking wild behind me.
Yeah.
I don't think they're the ones who threw the chair in the ring, but
no, and that was crazy.
Yeah.
No, because they were throwing Fango or whatever.
Fago.
Fango.
They're not vampires, babe.
Oh.
They're clowns.
I'm British.
They're
Fango.
throwing the Fango.
Oh man. Yeah,
right.
no, that chair was man, I got real mad at that.
Did it hit you?
No, it hit Hobo.
I know.
they were mad because Hobo
Yeah.
was trying to win, and Chad, I think, had hit him, and they were trying to aim it at Chad, and they missed Chad and hit Hobo instead.
Well, and
you gotta not throw things in the ring, man.
and
I
it
don't
was-
know why
and-
people
and-
keep doing that.
And I hate telling the story because I'm like, and then someone threw a chair in the ring, and they're like, well, yeah, it's wrestling. I was like, no, they were not supposed to throw a fucking chair in the ring.
That's what happened at the midget show too. Like, so during the semi-main, somebody, like a fan, put a chair in the ring while I'm in the reffing, and I'm like, no, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, so I kicked it out, and then somebody else put it back in. So I kicked it on the other side, and I was yelling at the fans, like, knock it off. There's a bunch of drunken idiots.
Yeah.
And then so afterwards, I didn't have the main event, but I told the ref to watch out for it.
Yeah.
And I told security, because they had like legit like off-duty cops as like with like mace and pepper spray and big guns and all this shit. And like the manager of the bar is like, you guys need to be careful because you're gonna hurt someone in the ring.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the last 10 minutes, the last 2 minutes of the match, this dude put a metal chair into the ring, and somebody almost came down onto it. And like I was watching from the side, and like it's because I knew it was gonna happen. Like, and I bolted down there, and I yelled at this guy, and I got him thrown out because like you can't. Again, like we were talking about earlier, like I really take it serious, and the safety of my performers, am in the ring there with, or I'm watching on a show with, like it matters. And if someone comes down on a chair in an awkward way that they're not expecting a chair to be there, that
Yeah.
can really do some damage. And like, because you're a drunken idiot, be like, ho, I'm going to do something stupid.
Hello,
Like,
$1 million baby.
Let me ask you this
I didn't see
question.
that movie.
Let me finish this. Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
I have.
Let me finish it up with this. Why are referees? Why do they get knocked out so easy?
Glass jaws.
Yeah,
They just get ran into and they're done.
Hey.
Oh,
it happens, man.
Flopping around like a
sometimes-
fish out of water.
Sometimes you get squished,
And then you're
you
just
get
out.
hit, and then you're just you have
You-
to like figure out what's going on. You
So
gotta
you get hit in your back and you're knocked out somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a,
For
it's a
days.
it's a spinal cord thing. You know, we've got
Okay.
weak lower backs. So.
They inject you with like weakling serum.
Yeah.
It's the opposite.
It's like it has to be the most classic like move, like swerve in a match is like the person gets out of the way and the ref gets hit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the crowd's like, no.
Yep. 'Cause,
How
yeah.
can this match possibly
Yeah.
end?
Yeah. Well, there's
Yeah.
no one to count the three. If there's no one to count the three, the match cannot
Right.
end.
And then
And you
that's
can't call what you don't see. So
right. Yeah.
yeah, that's just the way it
That's
goes.
classic. It's
Oh,
classic.
man.
Yeah. It's
And
great though.
I wonder how many refs like back in the day, the kayfabe days, people are like, Are you made out of fucking glass? What's wrong with you? You fucking
Yeah.
You went down like a sack of potatoes. You
I
know?
think I've only taken like 3
Oh really?
ref bumps.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Nobody super kicked you in the face.
No, nobody. I got clotheslined
I
once.
do at home sometimes.
Yeah, she tries to kick me.
That'd be awesome. She's just like you're just like in the kitchen, like talking to her, and then you turn around, and she
Super
super
kick
kicks you right in the
party.
face.
That'd be
And,
funny. That's yeah.
and then she just goes down and does like the arms up. She's all
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, man, but that's
You might be tall, but I'm flexible.
Dang.
that's true.
She
Yeah.
does it. She does a hurricane rana off the fucking top.
Yeah.
A poison can run off.
Poison
the,
rana.
What's that?
Poison rana.
When,
That every time I
If
see
you're
that move, I think someone's gonna get hurt.
like if you're sitting up on my shoulders and
And
then
then
you
you go-
flip over backwards.
Yeah.
To flip you around.
Candice LeRae did one a lot.
God,
Okay.
I know you've
it's like
seen
it's
it.
like the new hotness right now.
Yeah, it's awesome.
it's
Looks
the
devastating.
it's the new Canadian destroyer.
Man, Canadian destroyers are amazing.
Yeah.
At the end of a match.
Yeah, they
that
ruined now.
that
Yeah.
move should finish a match. It should
Yes.
not be a middle of the match move. However, I will say
Respect Petey Williams.
Dustin Rhodes
Yeah.
doing a Canadian destroyer
Yeah.
blows my mind.
It does me too.
Like the
Is
dude's
he a large man?
Yes,
that's Cody's older brother.
He's,
with the paint
he's-
half the face.
he's a little taller than me and like
yeah.
probably about his height. Because
Yeah.
I interviewed him. He's pretty tall.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, and he pulled that out
Mhm.
in age
He's a nice guy, too.
50.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's like a new thing he just started doing
Yeah.
recently.
Yep.
It's
Nice
wild.
guy. Super nice
So,
guy. Yeah. So I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should probably wind this down.
I'm gonna
Though.
wind down.
Thank you guys for filling in today.
You're
Thank
very
you,
welcome. Thanks for
Jim and
asking
Knight.
us.
Yeah, and then we'll ask you again. I'm sure. Because
Yeah.
Smiley sleeps in.
Smiley sleeps in. Yeah, yeah. A little
I
bit,
mean, we did have a party last night.
Yeah.
a little bit
well,
of knowledge
Yeah.
would help, but
And we'll have
all right.
we'll have Kyle on again. We'll talk some.
we do have a show coming up soon too.
When is
so
that?
July 16th, man.
Ooh,
July 16th. Dynamic Wrestling Entertainment.
Is it? Are you allowed to
So-
say where it's at? Is it a parking lot? Is it a-
I don't have the address memorized.
It's in a dirt
It's-
field.
It's I think it's at the same venue, which is
Oh.
an outdoor
Okay.
venue. But yeah, so if you're interested, look at Dynamic Wrestling Entertainment
Okay.
on the Facebooks or the Instagrams and send them a message on how to
Okay.
get tickets. I think it's $15 to get in this time.
Oh wow.
And there's limited capacity, so like there's
Ah.
only so many seats. So if you get them early, you don't have to worry about it. There might be some at the door, or they might be sold out.
Oh.
So
I want them to do it in like a place where it's like indoor and it's like multi-level. Like the crowd is up,
Oh,
like
dude, like
and it just looks like an old like barn. Like
I would love that. So like that's been my idea. Like if I ever win the lottery, I want to build my own
Yeah.
custom venue for wrestling
Right.
shows and do it like the old the ECW,
yeah, the bingo hall, the ECW arena.
where they had the multiple levels.
Yeah,
I
that's what
would-
I'm talking about.
Oh, I'd love that.
but
that would
like,
be amazing.
have you watched?
Or like Sunshine Theater. If we could run it, let's talk to Joe.
Okay.
We need to get Joe to run a show.
All right. He they tried to put one on and like they didn't talk to him about it.
Yeah.
And then he found out about it, and then like he's like, "Did you get this, and this?" And they're like, "No." And he's like, "All right, good luck." And then of
Yeah.
course it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But did you ever watch the show Heels? Like-
no, it's Ryan Nemeth's in that and,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
CM Punk, right?
Yep.
No, I have not watched that
Yep.
one yet either.
Yeah. But all right. Well then, thank you guys.
I'll
yeah.
watch those before next time.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully next Sunday. Well, next Sunday we have local musician Justin Nunez on.
Cool.
So
Nice.
tune in. He's actually going to play on the show, so that'll be cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
Add us on most social media,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we'll hopefully be back at the right time. Hopefully Smiley will be here. Hopefully Holly won't be sick. Who knows? We'll
Who
know.
knows?
That's the world we live
the
in.
magic of live
That's the magic of live
podcasting.
podcasting.
Yep.
But thank you guys for watching. And with that, we are 10 drink minimum.